Hello everybody, here is your grayscale makeup tutorial. So I'll start off by introducing some of the makeup and tools that you'll be needing to achieve this look. First off is our base makeup. You'll be using the Ben Nye Color Cake Makeup Foundation, and we'll go into how to use Color Cake makeup a little later on. You'll need the black wet makeup and the white wet makeup. Cameras. For the eyes, you'll need your grayscale eyeshadow color palette. Cassie, I'm using yours, thanks. I'll clean it, I swear. Your eyeliner pencil for your brows and your eyes. Your mascara. And liquid eyeliner for the ladies. It's important to keep these as separate as possible for the eye stuff, anything that's hitting tear ducts or wet membranes of any sort. It's pretty important to keep them separate just for hygienic reasons. Moving on, we will use the Neutral Set Ben Nye powder to blend with. Lipsticks, gray for men and black for ladies. Tools. You'll need the foundation brush. It's flat on top, thinner bristles, makes it really good for blending. A round brush for powder. This guy, kind of an oval brush that's a little bit flat for the eyes. I like this one. You can use a rounder brush for contouring, whatever makes it easier. And then this flat little guy for lipstick and other blending. So we'll start off with the foundation brush and we'll get a wash of foundation over the face. Make sure your face starts out clean and moisturized, drink lots of water, exfoliate, all that good stuff. But start out with a clean face, no dirt, no oil. Baby wipes usually work really well for that. I really like Pond's cold cream. It does kind of both of those things all at the same time, but it's up to you. However you achieve that is great. So we'll start out by taking a little bit of our white and a little bit of our gray, setting those up. Then you take your brush, and both of these things need water to be activated and to blend nicely and actually go on the skin without caking up. So just take a little bit of water. Shouldn't be sopping, but it shouldn't be terribly dry either. So get a little bit on there. And do have a rag handy too, so you can kind of blot a little bit. Take the tiniest amount of gray and test it on your hand. I usually like to use my hand for the palette, kind of see what color's coming through. It doesn't take a lot of gray at all, just a very little amount just to tone down the white a little bit, and then a pretty darn good amount of your white makeup. Dip a little more in the water and using your hand as a palette, kind of blend that in until you get a color that you like and is good, and it kind of matches the tone of your skin, the scale, the color, the hue of your skin. I don't know. Make sure to keep it nice and moist throughout because it'll start cracking and not spreading as well if you don't have it moist. So again, lots and lots of white. It shouldn't be a mask. Your skin tone should show through a little bit, so it's not going to be like total mime makeup. It's just going to be kind of a filter. So we'll start by applying it, blending downward so it doesn't get all up under your skin cells. Quick, soft strokes from the tip downwards, and keep picking up a little bit more pigment as you go along, blending it back into your hand palette, making sure that the tone kind of matches what you've already have. A little more water. And it does lighten up a little bit once it dries, so if it goes on a little thickly, that's okay. And with this brush, it's going to be a little bit streaky, but we'll take care of that with some powder and a round brush. And I'll show you that in just a second. I like to work in sections. So if I get the lower part of my face first evenly covered with the color that I want, then I can powder that and set it. Usually you powder all at the end, but it gets a little too dry to work with if you wait till it's completely covered. And keep blending the gray and the white as you continue. Again, get it a little thicker just because it'll dry up and the powder will pick up some of that pigment as well, so don't be afraid to go a little dark. I find that stippling a little bit works too. Just tapping those brush edges along the skin. So once you've got a decent amount of coverage, you'll want to grab your face powder, and I'm just using a Dixie cup with just a touch of powder in there. Doesn't have to be too much. And then take your round brush, kind of dabble it in, tap it off a little bit so you just don't get big cakes of makeup. About like that is good. Just kind of tap it on. And you'll find that that really smooths out the texture of the makeup. Just going to add a touch more to my nose. It got a little rubbed off there. And powder again. Then work on the upper section. White again. And the gray. Don't be afraid to go over your eyebrows because we'll be filling those in later anyway. Be sure to smudge it up into the hairline because the men will mostly all have dyed hair. The ladies will have wigs and it won't matter as much, but we can wipe it away with baby wipes later on. It's just really important to get really good coverage because anything skin toned pink really shows up against this makeup. After I'm done covering it, stipple it a little bit. Ooh, it's a tongue twister. And then go over it with your powder. And the powder will help to set it a little bit. We'll do some final set later on, but this will help to keep it in place while we contour a little bit later on. And if there are little holes, like it looks like I have one going on right here, just kind of smudge your wet brush in a little bit and cover it up, and then repowder. Patches pretty well. So there is the foundation. Next we'll move on to eyes.